In today's energy markets, I want to focus on WTI crude. WTI crude under some selling pressure today. Volatility persists in this space. We've seen it very volatile the last couple of weeks, and once again we saw some pretty significant selling pressure today. WTI selling right around the 1324 level. We saw a high of 54.84 though, and a low of 53.09. So again, on the lower end of the range, down about 1.5% for the day, and came under some selling pressure throughout the session. Now, initially this morning, we saw some chatter and some concerns about what's going on with OPEC, and OPEC indicated that they want to continue to curb productions, and they're heading towards that meeting later this month in the end of June in Vienna, Austria. And then as we moved through the session, Russia came out and some concerns now that Russia may try to influence the OPEC construct in the global markets, where they might not necessarily agree to the production cuts that they currently are basically initiating. And I think that's why we saw the selling pressure both enter the WTI space as well as the Brent space as we move through the session. Now, I think that that's probably a stance going into this meeting where they're going to try to kind of look at the market share, some of the dynamics within the markets themselves, and are they giving up too much ground here relative to the global supply initiatives that they feel like they're going to lose their space and their standing in the global crude construct. Also, global growth was another factor, I think, when you look at the WTI and crude space today. We did get some news out of China overnight, and basically both from the import side and the export side, we saw a slowing of China's activity, and I think that's a concern. And certainly when you look at how the markets are pricing in some of the driving forces moving forward, that demand storyline continues to be a theme here. And if we see this global slowing continue to evolve, even with maybe some of the short-term initiatives by the Fed and some of the central banks, that there could be a lull here. And I think that's why we continue to see this downward pressure on WTI and Brent as we start out the week. And the final thing I want to close on is the U.S. dollar. We did see some moderation in U.S. dollar today, actually higher on the day after some selling pressure. U.S. dollar to 2-month lows last Friday, a little bit of a bounce today, and that technically would be a slight headwind to WTI as well.